Hi, Gabe.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you? I'm gonna
Good.
unrecord Zoom recording. Okay. I think we're good. All right. So team call August 15th, maybe. Coach recognition. Just a shout out to July Success Club point earners. We have Kayla, who had 6 points, Sam, who had 2 points, who brought on another coach, which is awesome. Ashley, welcome to the team. And then we have Cody, who has 2 points, and then myself. Extra special shout out to Kayla, Tessa, and Sam, who are all helping to run the Back to School Health and Fitness Challenge that started on Monday. These coaches have stepped out of their comfort zone. Big shout out to Tessa, because this is her first time doing it, and she had her first day of hosting today, and she did awesome. But this is just something something you can do as a coach is post in the challenge groups, provide information to other coaches, and just get to feel a little bit of leadership in a safe environment. So awesome job, Sam and Kayla. Kayla's like forever time doing it, but Sam, your second month doing it, and you're already, stepping outside your comfort zone and giving value to a group of people, and that's awesome. Today I wanted to focus on the 4 vital behaviors, and this is super important, I think, for new coaches and even old coaches. It's just good to rethink things. And Kayla's on the call with me, so if she has any thoughts on how to, enhance your vital behaviors, a new take on doing your vital behaviors. But honestly, inviting is one of your vital behaviors, and if you follow through your vital behaviors, not only will you be a better coach, but you'll become a better person all around. So the first one is to be a proof of the product. So basically what that means is to follow a Beachbody on-demand workout. And there's a lot of coaches who are high up who really do value and put value on doing one workout from start to finish. And I really think that is something that is essential. Is I think as you start a brand new into Beachbody, I always tell my challengers and my new coaches to look through the programs, test out a couple different workouts with a couple different trainers, because we all like different things. But then when you have a trainer that you think you like, or if you have a goal in mind that if it's toning, flexibility, strength, cardio, if you have a goal, talk to your coach, talk to your clientele, and then pinpoint a program that's going to work for them and do it from start to finish. And there's going to be times where you don't want to do it anymore. I know I have started out and I did Hammer and Chisel, which is a program that's more about strength and muscle building, but it combined Sagi and Autumn, and they went back and forth. And it ended up being really difficult for me to push, because it was, I think it was a 60-day program, but towards the middle, I got a little stagnant and I wanted something different, but I thought it was really important. And in the end, there's value. And I know I'm doing Lift 4 right now, and I really love it. However, I have felt, for me personally, that I am building muscle, and I am building a lot of muscle. And I think it's because the program is built to build your days, your weeks 1 through 6, and then you lean out. And I experienced the same thing through 80-day obsession. So it's really important that you don't hit a point where you're like, I don't know about this program, I'm not ready to trust the process. It's important that you trust the process and you go beginning to end. So you need to do that as a coach and be an example of that, but you also need to try to promote that with your clientele as well, because there are going to be times that they look in the mirror and they're unhappy with what they see, or they feel really exhausted or really tired. You need to dig into their meal plan, make sure they're following that meal plan, and also look into the supplements and what they're doing as far as the different supplements. Are they using Shakeology? Would the performance line help them meet their goals better? And then if they needed something extra, Beach Bars are on sale this month, so it's something else that you can promote. You are like a proof of the product that things work. But if you're picking and choosing, like I'm going to do a workout here, I'm going to do a workout here, you're not becoming necessarily a proof of the product. You know, performance line and Shakeology. It is something that I have fallen in love with personally. I, you know, per se drank the Kool-Aid, but initially I was not doing that. And if you're not doing it, you can't promote it. You are promoting yourself, and Beachbody is a part of you. And the products are a part of you. You know, people are going to try to do what you're doing. So you want to pick your programs, you want to pick your meal plans, you want to do those things wisely and share your failures and share your successes, because people are going to want to follow in step with you. So number one is proof of the product. You want to add anything in?
I want to jump right in. I did a personal development, I think yesterday on this, and they were saying how crucial it was that, hey, say you're promoting Lift 4 and you're 4 weeks in, you're showing your halfway results, and then a week later you switch over to the 80-day obsession. I mean, so many people are watching our stories, and just share your story. If you're struggling in a week, share that, because there's so many people out there that get to connect with your weaknesses than always looking to you as strength, because they find that almost intimidating. So that's a great, instead of just saying, hey, do the programs, but really be consistent and follow through and share your story with them. Yeah.
Great. The second thing is personal development. And I know a lot of you, I post the National Wake Up Calls, so you guys know that the National Wake Up Calls are there every single Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And we're all in different time zones. And I go back to school next week, so I won't be catching them live. Even in the summer, I don't usually catch the National Wake Up Calls live. However, there's a recording in, you can do it, they do it right on the Facebook page. They also do it in Castbox is a free one. I've been having trouble with my podcast app, so I've been listening to them in Castbox. But those are great resources. I listen to the beginning part, but you can always skip, the recognition is awesome, but if you're strapped for time, you can always skip through the recognition and just get to the meat of the call and listen to the meat of the call. Those are things that you can do walking to and from class. If you're still in school, put headphones in. I do it a lot when I'm doing laundry or cooking dinner. I often lose track of time. Meal prepping, that's another time you can do it, or driving in the car. Check into the team calls. If you can't make them live, I can even put up a poll to see if there's a better time as we move into the school year for them. But we do have many coaches on different time zones. If you don't make them live, that's fine. Dial into the team calls. You can gain some kind of information from them. Audiobooks or reading books, for me, it's hard for me to sit down and read. So listening to something is something that works very well for me, and I've really drank the Kool-Aid on this one this summer as well. And I listened to GoPro by Eric Warr, and I highly, these two books that I have up on there, highly recommend listening to them. GoPro is a very short audiobook, and it talks a lot about connecting to people who you're talking to, about signing up for something. So it talks about inviting. So I highly recommend that one. And the High Performance Habits, it reiterates everything you know about being a high quality person. And the High Performance Habits is not for Beachbody coaches. It's just designed for anyone who wants to be a high performer. And it preaches about physical activity and eating right and sleeping. And it's everything that we promote as our business. So if we want to be a high performer ourselves and we want to help other people be high performers, this is something that someone's not related to Beachbody is promoting. So that was really cool. As far as business direct things, there are tons of YouTube videos out there. If you're trying to figure out do I add my husband as a coach under me? You just type in husband as a Beachbody coach under me, or how to align coaches under me. You can YouTube tons of things. If you find a good video, please post it in the team page, because if you're looking for it, someone else is probably looking for it as well. That's something that I like to do on my lunchtime. I like randomly do Beachbody videos. If you don't have the time and you don't even know where to begin to find Beachbody videos, look at the Beachbody Champions page. There's usually someone who speaks daily on there about something. Sometimes it relates to you, sometimes it doesn't relate to you, but you can jump on there. There's tons of resources on that Beachbody Champions page. Lift 4 coach group. I just listened today and I listened to it while I was laying in the pool. I listened to, Joel was interviewing someone today, and they were just talking about how they made connections and how they posted. And it was 20 minutes. And it was a really good call. So if you are a coach and you're in that coach test group because you registered for Lift 4 by last month, plug into that call. If you can't find it, just put a comment in the team page and I will tag you in it so you can get access to it. But I thought it was a very good call as well. Kayla, do you have any highlights on personal development?
No, I love I want to do high performance habits. I'm doing You Are a Badass right now. I haven't read that one yet, so I'm excited for that. Otherwise, I love the videos or anything audio with the trainings or like when we originally signed up, Lindsay's training that we did. Yeah. I mean, I love listening to those all the way through. So that's another resource that everybody underneath Gage should have access to that. Make sure you're listening to that all the way through. I know it's like 30 or 40, I don't know how many different lessons, but they're really short and you can use them really well. So. And
that's the Beachbody Legacy training or the Bombshell Legacy training, and that is an excellent resource. We have somewhat gone away as a team, like a smaller team, with like coach trainings when you sign up as a coach, because that is there. And it is set up for you to go module by module. They give you a weekly report and tells you how long, like how many you've gone through and where you left off. But it's also a great resource, like to go back and look at something if you're looking for like more information on a certain topic. Well, another one of the vital behaviors is recognition. This is something that I personally want to do a better job at, and I am open for ideas for how we can recognize more people within our challenge groups. I don't want it to get like crazy, but I would like to somehow recognize our challengers. I know I reach out to my people who I invited and I talk to them and I personally like praise them. But I was thinking of if there was a way to just shout out, and I've done it before, but shout out like one person, like have a shout out Sunday or something like that, where like we just have like shout out Sunday and like you go in and you just comment something about someone in the group. I get a little teacher-esque in the situation and I like wonder if there'll be like 3 people who don't get shouted out, and is that okay? So I'm open to feedback on how to like shout out our challengers, because I think that is something that could really help us. I also, I think we all like as coaches could get better at finding like our challengers within our groups maybe and shouting them out on Instagram, like in our Instagram stories. That might be another way to recognize them. And I know some people like that and some people don't. So I also am like trying to find the balance where I don't want to make someone feel like they don't want to be a part of something because you're taking it outside that small group. I know very few people like share like their before and after photos, which I wish they would share more. So I don't know how to get them to actually share even in a private message. I know I have people who say they've lost 6 pounds. They've lost like they're 4 pounds from their goal. I think weight is very difficult to share publicly. I mean, it's difficult for me to share publicly, so I get it. But make sure that like, as a coach yourself, as you start building your team, that you're recognizing, and I try to tap into like every little aspect, but make sure you're recognizing your challengers, make sure you're recognizing your coaches, and make sure you're recognizing yourself, because you ladies are doing a heck of a good job. You're doing an awesome job, and the neat thing is you identify goals and then you keep them in sight and you work towards them. And sometimes you make those goals and sometimes you don't. But understanding that like small steps, like, all right, so maybe you wanted to get to Success Club 5, but you only got to Success Club 2. However, this is like your first time ever to Success Club 2. That's awesome. And look at like, you have a, like, if you're anything like me, you have a list of people who you've invited. Like, holy cow, you talked to this month like 40 people. That's incredible. That means you are planting seeds for those people to hopefully join on in 2, 3, 4 months. So find the small successes and celebrate them. And then when the big successes happen, really celebrate them as well. So don't forget to like recognize yourself. And when something, like if you make a small goal for yourself and you meet that goal, reach out, tell your coach, because sometimes you have those small goals and we don't know about them because they're your own goals. And we're just like everyone else, and we want to keep things kind of private because we're also afraid of failure. But if you meet some of those goals, reach out, tell us, because we'd like to help you celebrate. Anything you want to add, Kayla?
Just a shout out to Caitlin, my sister. She signed up for first challenger. So we're helping one more person this last month, but Sam and Kate are both doing great underneath me. So great job, lady.
Awesome. Number 4 is inviting. And I think that is something that is the most intimidating for most people. There are so many calls. I have listened to so many podcasts, so many videos on how to invite. There's a trillion different ways to invite, and you really just have to find what works best for you. And what works this month for you may not work next month for you. So keep an open mind. Understand that like we are all learning together. I have some really cool things that I have below that I borrowed from another team. I got it off the Beachbody Champions page. I have had a gazillion and one different types of trackers in my lifetime as a coach, and some of them work really well and some of them don't. And you change it up. Like I've had spreadsheets that I've changed and I've made for myself. My tracker might be looking different than yours based on what my goals are, and so forth. But there are a gazillion different ways to invite. I like to look at like making daily connections. Like there are often times that I reach out to people and I send them a personal message about like it being their birthday, or their birthday's tomorrow, or their birthday was yesterday. I made nothing Beachbody related, but I'm just making a connection with them. And sometimes that's less intimidating than inviting for Beachbody. So think about just making someone's day, like an old high school friend, like, hey, I just wanted to say hi. There is a lot of like depth behind building a relationship with someone. I've also recently just listened to some calls on like people who just do straight up inviting and say like, hey, I have a challenge group coming up. This is what like I do. Would you be interested? Or do you know someone else who might be interested? Sometimes saying, do you know someone else who might be interested in joining this challenge group opens the door where they don't feel necessarily pressured and they don't shut down put their wall up right away. You can personally invite people. You can do calls to action, which is like, when you do a post and you say, if you're interested, check out the link or the form in my bio. My link tree has been up since the beginning of the summer, and I've had 3 people fill out my link tree. So it does work. When you send people there, you get their information, and they are 99% more serious because they took that extra step to go there. So keep that in mind as well. I know a lot of you have link trees already set up. Go into mine, steal mine, my form. You can use it. If you see something that you think should be in my form, we're all here to learn together and make everything better. You can Instagram stories. It's a great resource. Listen to a call the other day or personal development that encourages you to have people tap and do polls, Beachbody related and unrelated. So I did one yesterday, which was I always pull into a parking spot, Cody always backs in. Which do? You just get people to start clicking on, like, doing polls. And that way, when they get a random poll of you, like, do you want to join my challenge group? They already, like, they're in the habit of clicking. So that is something that I thought was a really good tip. Always keep the things positive when you're doing like Beachbody related type stuff. Like, do you want to join my challenge group? Send me details or sign me up right now. Like, don't ever say no, that's ridiculous. All right, or I'm too good for that. You don't want to add those things in there. You don't want to, like, keep it positive, but get them to try to interact with you. When it comes to inviting, I've started reaching out to those people, like about like 200 people who usually follow my stories. I've started reaching out to those people and started creating relationships. It takes time. They're total strangers, but they're following you for a reason. They're following you. They're not following you because you do Beachbody. They're following you because you're quirky, because you are into track and field, because you're into hunting. Like, they're following you. So don't be afraid. Like, they're following you even after you add Beachbody type stuff into it. So they're free game to talk to. Anything, Kayla?
To me, inviting is something that I really need to work on, and it is intimidating, but also I think lately I've really started to just make a daily connection. Like, if there's a recipe I really love, or if there's a quote from somebody or anything that I can connect with, I just shoot a comment or shoot a message their way, and it really opens up doors. It makes them feel invited. And I'll be honest, I've come home from work the last like 3-4 days, and I've had like 10 plus messages to reply to, which is awesome.
That's exciting. Yeah.
At least you're getting engagement and they're not having their wall up right away.
Mm-hmm. And that's a good tip, like asking questions. Like, always ask a question of someone, like, hey, that's a really cool like outfit you have on. Like, did you just recently get it? Like, where did you buy it? Like, it doesn't have to necessarily be health and fitness related.
No.
So I'm going to encourage all of you I have this posted on the team page, to go in and pick a tracker. There's a walker, because we're all, well, a lot of us are running related. There's a walker, a jogger, and a runner, I think. And so the walker is someone who just, like, you're just getting involved. You want to be an active coach. You're not just in it for the discount, but here are just some suggestions that you can do weekly. And the suggestion is check in on it on Sunday or Wednesday evenings. It just helps you organize your thought process. These are just like pictures, so you guys are capable of going in there and copying it and pasting it into, I use PicMonkey. PicMonkey is I subscribe to it, so I get some of the extra things, but you can do it free. If you take this, if you're really creative, because I know I have some creative coaches out there, and you make your own, share it with the group. All right. But you can print it off. You can handwrite things. I'm kind of old school because I'm old, but you can handwrite stuff. But here's the walker, just looking at daily vitals, and it's going to kind of tie into some of the things I'm going to talk about next. Here's the jogger. But if you look at it, it really is a lot about inviting and growing yourself. And that is the big differences. And then here's the runner. And, you pick the one that's right for you this week. Like, maybe this week I'm a jogger because I have more free time. But next week's like getting ready into the school, and maybe then I am a walker. Like, and you figure out what's best for you. All right. If you guys have questions, post the questions in there. But I'm going to kind of let this like sit there, and you guys can use that. Kayla, do you use a tracker right now?
I do not. I have a spreadsheet that I keep track of who I contact when and what our conversations were, and kind of invites for different groups and coach calls and like my follow-ups. But if you have any recommendations on a good tracker that worked for you.
I've tried tons.
Yeah.
I've even tried like the paid CRM, and I think I'm going to drop it after this month just because I can't keep up with it right now. But it's a great, like the paid CRM is a great resource, which you probably use something similar. for like recruiting type thing, but it tells you who to talk to. However, I'm not on it every single day, so I don't know how to, I haven't figured out how to position it. So like, if I only want to invite people 4 days a week, which honestly, I have days that I work my business for 2 to 3 hours and days that I barely touch it.
Yeah.
That's how it works for me. But some people are better just to plug in 30 minutes every single day. It equals the same amount of time. You're doing the same amount of work.
Yeah. I like these sheets, so.
I thought you
Turn them off.
So this goes kind of into those sheets and goes into, there's like another sheet as well. Because I think inviting is the most difficult, way back, probably 2 years ago, I listened to a call on your 5 pillars. And basically it is what makes you you. And I listened to a call, it might have been I listened to 3 calls today because I was just busy doing stuff around the house. I don't remember exactly which one. It might have been the National Wake Up Call or one by Ashley, I think. But anyways, it talked about identifying who you were and what makes you unique. Because people are following you and they're going to invest in Beachbody products from you because of who you are, and not be like, you are someone who promotes something that works well for you. Like, I pick up a planner, it could be the best planner in the entire world, but people are interested in it because they're interested in how I'm staying organized, not because it's the best planner in the entire world. It could be the worst planner in the entire world, but because it seems like in everyday life that I have my stuff together and I'm organized, they're going to want this planner. All right. So you have to think about what makes you unique. And my tips for you are to find 5 things. This is like, I have homework for you because I'm a teacher. Find 5 things that identify who you are and are most likely going to be people who are going to follow you because of those 5 things. All right. Now, like, if you look at all of you, you all have aspects of my 5 things in who you are. That's why you're attracted to me. And just because I'm into fitness doesn't mean that every single person who's into fitness is into the same type of fitness or doing fitness in the same exact ways that I do. Just because I'm a Christian doesn't mean that everyone does faith the same way that I do. I will say, like, I love the Sprinkle of Jesus app, and I love that I see Kayla has done it, and then I see Caitlin but I'm not promoting, like, I get no financial kickback. Sprinkle of Jesus, app people have no idea who the heck I am. But yet I have just, spread that along. That's exactly what we do with Beachbody. Just because you're getting paid for something, or you are someone who is influencing other people for this product, doesn't mean you shouldn't share it. Like, I shared the Sprinkle of Jesus app because I like it, because it has made me happy and influenced me in a positive way. I told Kayla about it, and Kayla is using it, and she obviously likes it because she told her sister about it. It's the same exact thing. And I think sometimes we have to step back and see that, yes, we are promoting something. Yes, we're going to probably make a profit off of this, but we're an influencer, and people are going to be attracted to it because it's offering something to them. So find out, I'm a teacher. There are a gazillion and one different teachers out there going back to school right now. But what makes me different and what makes me unique? And these are the things, like being a girlfriend, being a grad student is something that was a part of me, and it's something that a lot of people are still attracted to. I've been able to make some connections with lots of different students who are going through a PhD program or a postdoc program. It's something that people can relate to me, and I can relate to them. So find your 5 pillars, and it's something that I need to try to work on as well, and post about those 5 things. Like your Instagram stories, I should be able to pick up my phone, and within 2 days, I should be able to say, well, I think X, Y, these 5 things are Kayla's 5 pillars. You should be able to pick the phone and look at my Instagram stories from the last couple days and see, ooh, I think these things are Gabe's 5 pillars. If you're not finding one of my pillars, then I need to step up my game and include that. So I think if you put out your 5 pillars and you like lay out what makes you unique in each one, it will help you with your posting. And there's lots of different, like Instagram seems to be exactly where it's at right now. So post in your Instagram stories, that seems to be the #1 place to post right now. So Instagram stories, and then also posting in your like main Instagram, and then Facebook also seems to be a good place. I'm on Snapchat, but I don't use Snapchat. Snapchat used to be a really big one as well. You can reuse some things. So like keep it like moving through. But if you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I didn't post anything today, look at your list of your 5 pillars and find something in there and make a post. Make sure you're adding value. And I think that sometimes when I feel pressured or I feel rushed, I just post something, but it's not adding value. Like today I posted something about that I ran 3.3 miles on my birthday because I was 33 years old. I got a couple different messages that were like, oh, you just motivated me. I want to try to do that as well. And they're doing it, I think, because they read, like I added value to them. I explained why I was running 3.3 miles and that I hope to run like 0.7 or 7 miles when I'm 70. But you have to look at the depth of it and make sure that when you post something, especially if it's on like Facebook or on your main, like not in your stories, make sure you're adding depth. Your stories is like whatever you'd want to post, but it should relate to your 5 pillars because that's what's relating to you. It shouldn't just always be Beachbody related. So here are the action steps that I pretty much just went over for that. And then here is just like a little weekly success tracker, but it has you look at like things that are your brand, which are like your pillars, and gives you post ideas. And this is something that you can just use. You can put down some important things that you want to do for the week, and you can like check them off. Like I did it on this day, I did on that day. So you might like behaviors or actions might be like get a workout in, drink my Shakeology. Like those are your vital behaviors. They can go on there. It might be create a like 5 pillar, like you might even call it 5 pillar post, and you put it on there. You might put like invite with polls every other day, and that way you can just track that right on there. But it gives you just like a concrete place to put your information. And I think sometimes that's helpful because you think you're doing everything and you're like, I'm doing everything right, and it's just not happening for me this week. But you have to understand it's like work you do this week, you're going to benefit from next week or in 2 weeks. So keep that in mind as well. And it's sometimes hard to keep that in mind. So anything, Kayla?
You covered a lot of great stuff. Another thing that I listened to this last week talked a lot about give, and don't ask to receive, and it'll just naturally come. So like when you're posting your stories, I mean, give out a recipe or give out or just put your shake, but maybe put the ingredients on the side. Or I did one with my pancakes I made last week, and that was like a huge hit. And it's like something that I do all the time, you know, but it's something that each one of us has so much to give, and we just don't even realize it. You know, everybody's different, and people look to us and they wouldn't even know that I made these pancakes at home every now and then, you know? So, I mean, it's just more about something I'm changing my mindset is just sharing your story instead of trying to always promote, like, I have a challenge group coming up and stuff like that. Just sharing your lifestyle, basically. So.
And that's what people are attracted to. They're not attracted to necessarily your challenge group. They want to be like you. They want to have it together. They want to be able to juggle like X, Y, and Z like you do. And you don't look like you're falling apart. That's what is attractive. So that's a great point. So this is just as far as next month, some of my thoughts. I have, and if it doesn't work for anyone, just let me know. But I was thinking right now it seems like because of our different time zones that we're in, that 8 p.m. Eastern time works, because then at 7 o'clock for you and 6 o'clock for some others. So then it's like you're out of work if you're full-time employed as well. So I was thinking a coach sneak peek on September 6th at 8 p.m. And if any of our new coaches want to add any information or add value to that, I'm more than happy to have that. I personally like having the coach sneak peek and having the option to interact with someone face to face. They get to know us, they get to know our team. I thought it was really valuable to have like people on the call, like other coaches on the call, because we can sometimes ask questions if no one else has questions, that the questions that we had before we started. So I think that is definitely valuable. It also gives me personally something to invite to, and forces me to be like, okay, so I'm hosting the sneak peek with a group of my coaches. I want to see if I can like invite people to it and get someone to show up. People may show up, people may not show up, but it does provide us a video to share with other people. And when we ever have one that no one ever shows up to, we'll decide if we actually want to have it or if we just want to share like an old video. But so I have that as Thursday, September 6th at 8 p.m. I have challenge group September 10th to September 30th. I don't have a label for it yet. So if anyone wants to do that, if anyone wants to like branch off and do their own challenge group, they're more than welcome to. If you're a new coach and you want to add value into the challenge group, I know this time around it's Tessa's first time adding value, and it is neat to have different people participating in the challenge group. I talked to Tessa earlier today, and Tessa, I hope you don't mind I should share this, but she was excited. She's getting her post ready for the next time she posts. It's exciting to be a leader in a group of people. Like, you're influencing people, you're helping them. And if you haven't stepped outside of your comfort zone and tried that, I highly encourage it. You are welcome to post in our groups, like even as you don't have to be scheduled, but you find a recipe, you find something, post it. Share it in our groups. Like, that is what makes the groups fun and interesting. So that is the next group I have planned. I have next team call Wednesday, September 12th at 8 p.m. And then I am in process of trying to do a Coach to Emerald training. So to see how many of you would be interested in just creating a small Facebook group with a couple other coaches or a couple other leading coaches, and see if we can get some of our new coaches to have two coaches underneath them, so that they're an Emerald coach, which is an awesome recognition point in the Beachbody business. So that's what I have for next month. End of month highlights, just some of the promotions that are going on. To Be Mindset is $20 off this month. Lift 4 and Las Damas is $10 off. Beach bars are 10% off. They also today just put out that what's it called again? Oh my gosh. Daily Sunshine is on sale. So if you're a coach, it's $75. If you're a client, it's $100, which is a pretty decent discount. And that is a product that is designed for children or for adults for a healthy snack. It does not have all of the superfoods as your Shakeology does. It is tested and approved by the pediatricians for children to have. So as we go back to school, after school snacks might be popular. So that might be something we want to promote as well. And then there's the 818 at 8:18 a.m. Big Sweat, which is 2 workouts at 8:18 a.m. I will be probably traveling from Pittsburgh back to Mechanicsburg area on that time, so I probably won't be able to hit that up, but some of you might be able to hit that up. I highly recommend if you're doing 2 workouts that you pick either lift workout then cardio, or you do like a workout and then yoga, because it's 2 workouts back to back. And I know a lot of people are doing Lift 4 other workout programs, so you might want to play around with your schedule. So you hit one of your Lift 4 days, and then you do like Lift 4 workouts, and then you do like a yoga workout there. But you have the opportunity. I posted it in our challenge group, but you have the opportunity to win $818 if you share it on your Insta stories. So, and that's something like it's a promotion thing. You have people who, you know, are like, oh, I kind of want to do this, but I don't know if I want to do this. Like, I don't have the money to do it. Well, why don't you try the 14-day free trial? Try it. Try 2 workouts. Maybe you'll win the $818, and then you don't have to like worry about money. You just can sign up and you can purchase a challenge pack then. So it's an option there. Success Club rewards. So it sounds like Caitlin already has. Does Caitlin have 2 Success Club points?
Yeah.
So yeah. Caitlin has 2 right now. Kayla has 2 right now. But you get Success Club 5, and then I know Kayla, you already won your hat, but then you're working towards your shirt, so you need to hit Success Club 3 times, and then 3 months, and you get a shirt.
Yep.
So they've changed things up a little bit, but that's cool rewards that you get there. And then I have questions, answers. This is something you said, Kayla. Do you want to? This is what?
Yeah.
Ashley Molson. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So this morning I was
on there, so it's up there.
So this morning I was going through a coach training, and it was from one of the top coaches in the business, and she was talking about how when we invite and we get challengers to sign up in a challenge pack, that should be the hardest part. It's how we approach it once they're finally like, hey, I want to do this, I'm committed. And then she sends out this message right here, and it's talking about how to automatically save money down the road if you sign up as a discount coach. So you can play around with it, but like Gabe just copied and pasted it in here. So you can say there are 2 options to enroll in. They're both the same amount, $170 if they're doing Lift 4. The first option to order the loyalty coach program, or Gabe, what do you use?
Preferred customer.
To use preferred customer program. Some people get thrown off by coach, so you can just use preferred customer or loyalty program, where you pay $170 now and then $113 after your first month. That is $97 Shakeout, and then $16 coach fee for each additional bag of Shakeology. Plus, you get 25% on future products down the road. And then also with this option, I can show you how to drink your Shakeology for free. So basically, you're training them down the road. Or they can pay for the second option, which is also $170, but then your second month is $130 for every additional bag. And but this still breaks down to $375 to $4 plus per day for your healthiest meal of the day. So, and then she goes in like, I would recommend the loyalty plan or the preferred customer because I'm asking for at least a 60-day total commitment. That's how she approaches it. Obviously, we're doing 21-day commitments, but if it's a lifestyle we're promoting instead of just a 21-day. And then you're going to save the most money this way. There are no requirements of contracts. It's just a way to kind of lay out the discount coach, and then eventually, like a lot of times they want to work the business eventually, just to get them signed up as a coach underneath you, and then they can reap the rewards and help people that way. So yeah,
and it's sometimes easier, like if they sign up as a coach after the fact, then they have to fill out an additional form in order to get their $40 back. You also, if they sign up underneath you as a coach, you also get a bonus for having them sign up as a coach and getting a challenge pack at the same time. So that's a little incentive for you as well. But yeah, it is definitely a way to even try to keep them on Shakeology, because I know a lot of people I have like will do the first month and then they cancel the Shakeology, and then they still they still like stick with the workout plan, but they're not using the Shakeology and the results aren't the same. Like it's obvious. And I think that for me is something that I think I would like to try to, at least with my customers in the challenge groups, is try to promote the Shakeology a little bit more, because I have a lot of people in the group that are doing the workout programs. They're just not drinking the Shakeology because of a cost situation, where I mean, you get better results when you drink it. So I think that's something I personally want to try to work on in the challenge groups. So.
I agree. But it's all about how we like talk about it, and this is another great way to talk about it.
Yeah, this is excellent. It's great. And P.S. I had my first Canadian person sign up, and
Yay!
I know, right?
Good.
Hey,
That's crazy.
But you have to go through. Make sure you click you have to change the country. And I didn't change it, so she couldn't purchase because it wouldn't accept her credit card. So then I had to go back and share a cart with her for Canadian. So if you end up talking to anyone who's not from the U.S., first time having that happen, it just didn't work. I had to go through and do it again. So even if you're using the Beachbody link generator, make sure you're using the right one. Because even with your Coach ID, it doesn't work. It won't go through.
It's good to know.
Blonde moment.
Yeah. So how'd you get to know her? Just cold
Instagram.
That's awesome.
She is into like doctorate work.
Okay.
So it was at the beginning of the summer, I started I had reached out, sent a message, nothing Beachbody related, and kind of just kept following her for the last couple months. And last month I invited her, and it was like a hard no. And then she ended up jumping on.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's exciting. Now she's a hard, I'm canceling my Shakeology after this month, but I'm really hoping that she's in our challenge group right now.
Good.
But it's the situation, and I will say that it is working with cold market people who you do not know. It is sometimes it's a challenge because you have to figure it out. So
yeah.
Well, we'll see everyone next. Let's hang on. Stop share and stop.